Hello and welcome to Spanish 1301 training module. I am Margaret Annan and currently pursuing a master's in educational technology at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. This training module serves as a guide to aid users with the overall setup of the course and what is available within it. Together we will explore a lesson and then the user will be able to use it on their own. In terms of the overall setup of the Blackboard course sites, is the online instructional 2.0 technology platform in which the course was developed. This video is for those who have no previous experience with an online course setting in order to understand what it entails. Once the user finishes with the training video, they should be able to navigate and access any and all parts of the course. Now, let's get started. On the main page, one can see the banner for the course, which is Spanish 1301. On the left side is the labeling of the lessons of the course. We will first visit the welcome page, where the user reads a short segment about what they will learn in the course and the learning objectives which describe the learning that is involved in the lessons. From the welcome page, the user can move directly to Lesson 1, which covers the history of Spanish. Once inside the lesson, the first part of the course outlines the learning objectives for the lesson. Scrolling down is the second view in the lesson, which shows a learner-friendly video that tells about how the Spanish language grew over time. Let's take a listen.
Did you know by 2050, 10% of the world's population will speak Spanish, and the United States will be the biggest Spanish-speaking country? How did this language become quite so big? A wander through the history of Spanish reveals a tale of fallen empires and a Europe in flux. But our story begins with a simple introduction.
Scrolling down further, the third view reveals an audio in Spanish that tells about the history of the Spanish language. Let's take a listen.
Historia del idioma español. De Estudiantes de Español Brasil. Extensión actual del español en el mundo. El español o castellano es una lengua romance, derivada del latín, que pertenece a la subfamilia itálica dentro del conjunto indoeuropeo. Es la lengua oficial de España y la nacional de México, de las naciones de Sudamérica y Centroamérica, excepto Brasil, las Guayanas y Belice, de las naciones caribeñas de Cuba, Puerto Rico y la República Dominicana, de la nación africana de Guinea Ecuatorial y goza de protección constitucional en el estado estadounidense de Nuevo México.
In the fourth part of the lesson, the user watches a video about the origin and history of the Spanish language. Let's watch a bit of it.
Hola chicos, bienvenidos de nuevo a esta sesión en el bloque de léxico. Como veis por el título, vamos a dar el origen y la historia de la lengua castellana, es decir, cómo se forma el castellano y cómo evoluciona en su contacto con otras lenguas a lo largo de toda una serie de etapas históricas que marcaron su desarrollo. Hemos querido hacer este vídeo porque no podemos empezar a hablar de voces patrimoniales, de cultismos, semicultismos o préstamos léxicos sin antes tener un contexto marco para saber cómo se formó este castellano y de dónde procede.
In the fifth and final part of the lesson, the user takes a quiz about what they have learned. In this quiz, it is specific in that it will only cover information from the last video. Let's take a look at the quiz. The 16-question quiz is true or false. Learners can save their answers and go back and change them, or they can click on the Save and Submit button. Let's take a look at the lesson 2 by clicking on the button on the left. This lesson is set up in the same way as lesson 1. It has the learning, objectives, images, videos, and then an assessment. Thank you for watching. It is now time for learning about the wonderful Spanish language. Hasta la próxima!